I mean, Britain is dealing with this cost of living crisis at the moment, high inflation, it's staring at a recession, and you would think that voters would actually put the economy front and center more than what you say, and I find that very, very interesting. Let me get the opposition's point of view on this. And Mr. Tanmanjeet Singh Dhesi, Member of Parliament from the Labour Party, joining us as well. Sir, what do you make of this? I mean, what is Liz Truss going to mean for the UK economy, and does Labour smell an opportunity here?
But Nidhi, I think it was a respectable display in terms of the overall outcome for Rishi Sunak getting 43% of the vote. But I think it was a very toxic contest wherein there was a lot of mudslinging. And I think ultimately what counted against Rishi, I know that despite him being of British origin, he didn't often take up Indian issues within the House. But there was a concerted campaign amongst some British Indians to become temporarily members of the Conservative Party in order that they could vote in that election. But what really counted against him, I think, was that the Boris Johnson faction conspired that they wanted anybody but Rishi. And within that toxicity of that contest, the likes of Rishi Sunak, when Rishi said that, look, I will ensure that there is going to be growth in the economy. I'm talking about managing the economy really well. You mentioned about an upcoming recession, that I will deal with all of those issues. Well, the likes of Liz and others countered back to say, well, hey-ho, Rishi, you've actually been the Chancellor, you've been the Finance Minister for the last 2.5 years. What have you been doing? We are now laden with the highest tax burden in the UK since the 1950s, the biggest drop in living standards since the 1950s. We've got now the highest inflation for well over 40 years. So under all those parameters, they counted, and many others, that Rishi Sunak has failed. Conversely, the likes of Rishi and others accused Liz Truss of fantasy economics, of taking a holiday from reality, because some of what she was proposing in terms of huge tax cuts, and none of those were fully funded. In fact, I think that Rishi and many of us who did accuse her of that have got a lot of respect, in the sense that the Institute for Fiscal Studies, a very independent and highly respected Institute for Fiscal Studies, they pointed out that if Liz Truss follows through with her plans, we will have an even higher amount of inflation within the UK. So on all of those fronts, I think we are up to choppy waters. But Liz Truss, by the way, Nidhi, is somebody who the likes of me have described as a comedian politician.